What does the Bible say about praying for the dead? Have you looked through the Bible to see what stories there are about praying for the dead and not found anything? Because there isn't one, as far as I know. I think there's stories about people being raised from the dead, but there aren't stories about praying for the dead. Then why would people pray for the dead? Let's think about that. I've actually prayed for the dead multiple times. I've prayed for the dead. So in this video, let's talk about why someone would pray for the dead and what the biblical significance of that would be.
I promise that as you ponder what you study, the windows of heaven will open and you will receive answers to your own questions.
Do you believe in angels? Do you believe in spirits? Do you believe in heaven and hell? Are those actual places that you believe exist? Well, we know that the Bible teaches us that there are spirits. There's bad spirits, there's good spirits. We know that there is heaven, we know that there is hell, and we know that there is earth. So there's all these different places, which suggests a journey, doesn't it? It suggests that we might go from one place to another place, and where are we going to be going on our next journey? We also know that Christ prayed for many things in his ministry. When he was here on the earth, he prayed for many people. He performed many miracles. He prayed to the Father, and then he went to see the Father, and then he came back and he visited with other people that were here with his disciples, and he did more training for them. We know that he came to Paul on the road to Damascus. We know that in the Old Testament, many of the prophets met with God, and he could come and he could go. So if Christ can come and can go, and he's praying to Heavenly Father, then he's praying to people, he's praying to a being on the other side in heaven, which is where he was going to be going and which is where he has come from. So that's interesting. If he's going to pray for someone or with someone who's on the other side, to someone who's on the other side, why couldn't we pray also in behalf of someone who's on the other side? So our progression is an eternal progression. We are not done when we're done with this world. We move on, and that's an exciting prospect. We know that there's a time called judgment. The Bible teaches us that, but it doesn't happen immediately, okay? So we end our life, and then there's a time. And then there's judgment, and then there's more time. And we know time is eternal to God, so it never ends. So if we would pray for someone here, if we would pray for our neighbor here, for our child here, why wouldn't we pray for them there if they're gone? Why wouldn't we pray on the other side when they are waiting for judgment and waiting to know if they'll go to heaven or hell, that they will continue to make good choices there? Why wouldn't we assume that since angels have work to do, that we also would have work to do on the other side? I think we have to ask ourselves the question, does it hurt to pray for somebody who has died, who's on the other side, who's in heaven or in a waiting pattern? Does it hurt? Is it a sin? No, the Bible doesn't say it's a sin. So I would imagine that it's okay then, that we could do that. I pray for my children. So I'm an empty nester now. I've raised a lot of children. I've raised 4 of my own plus many foster children, and I'm now a grandma. And when any of those children left my house, I would pray for them. Whatever was going to be going on in their lives, I still pray for them all the time. They don't live with me. I don't see them all the time, but I know they're out there having a journey, and I pray for them. And I feel like it's the same concept when we pray for people who have died. They're now at a new place in their journey, and we learn in the New Testament, Paul teaches about the different kingdoms, kingdoms telestial, kingdoms terrestrial. So there are other kingdoms. We know there's judgment, there's other kingdoms. There's a journey that's happening, and there's decisions that can still probably be made, even on the other side. I believe a merciful God would allow that. So when someone calls me and says, I've got some sad news, my son died or my father died or something like that, the first thing I think is, I want to pray. I want to pray for my friend who's telling me this, and I want to pray for their loved one or the person that I know and love who's on the other side. I want to pray that they'll adjust good to their new surroundings. I want to pray that they'll be able to unify with the Lord and choose the Lord. I'm going to pray for their loved ones here, that they're going to be able to accept the change that happens, that they'll be comforted. I think there's still things that we can pray for. There's still teaching that can happen on the other side. What are the angels all doing? I mean, they're helping us. And when I see angels, I don't see people with wings, even though I know they're interpreted that way often, just because they're often in the air as if they're flying. But any of the people that I've known who've had visions or visitations, they usually don't have wings, they're just a person. And what are those people doing? They're ministering to us, but surely they're ministering to each other on the other side as they're waiting for God's plan to continue to carry out. And I don't know, that gives me a lot of peace as I know that. So specifically, I don't know of anywhere in the Bible where it says to pray for the dead and instructs to do that, but it doesn't tell us not to do that. And that means to me that it wouldn't be a bad thing to do. It couldn't be harmful. Maybe it's needed, maybe it's not. Maybe the prayer that I pray for the dead is for me. When I love that person, maybe it touches my heart to do one more prayer for them at that time when I'm grieving for their loss. And I believe the Lord hears and answers prayers. I shouldn't even say I believe, I know. I know He hears and answers prayers. My prayers have been answered so many times. I wouldn't even be the person that I am today without His hand in my life. All great things, all great people, and great acts are not accidents. There is a divine author of it all who's watching over us. He wants to hear from us. And whether we're just praying for ourselves or whether we're praying for somebody who's passed on, I think He hears it with a loving and caring heart.